All right. It is live a Wednesday webinar time. I'm a few minutes late here today. I just want to double check here. Give me a second. Streaming live into our room properly. Just give it a moment to connect here. Today I will be talking about all of the Ask Me Anything answers. So let's just make sure the stream is in the room. Give me 1 second while I double check this. Make sure I'm streaming into the right room. And we'll check here. It can take a second to come up. So let's be sure if I'm in the room. Yes. Okay. So should be streaming into our Fit Over 40 group, guys. If you're joining me live, welcome. There's nobody live with me at this moment. Just having a look at the little ticker. But I'm going to go ahead and share some information with you today. So again, I am Julie Hodge, and this is the Fit Over 40 group, or I'm also streaming live onto my YouTube page. So wherever you're watching me, if you have questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments. But today is a little bit of a special live Wednesday webinar. So we're going to talk about the Ask Me Anything answers. So those of you who might have seen last week, I posted Ask Me Anything in our Fit Over 40 group right here. And there were some great questions. They included strength training, collagen, and end-of-day bloating. 3 really great questions, very relevant to women, especially in sort of middle age and going through that perimenopause period. So I'm going to answer those questions and give you some additional information to consider to the best of my ability. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, like I said, there were 3 questions. I've put together a quick little presentation that I'll try to follow through, but I'm going to share some more additional information on some notes I've made. So I've compiled a bunch of stuff for you guys. So settle in. I'll try to get through this as quickly as I can. And of course, if you're watching this on the replay, tape replay, and I would love to know whether you're live or watching replay, which of the 3 questions is of most interest to you. So which of those 3 questions kind of hits your heart the most, or is something that you really also wanted to know, or which answers were the most helpful to you? So let's begin with the first question. And I believe, I can't recall who asked this question. One of you awesome ladies did. But the question was talking about strength training. It was, why is strength training more important than, say, a walk for exercise over 40? So let's dive into this, okay? And unpack this question. So first off, there's probably 2 answers to this question or statements. Number 1, it's not that strength training is more important. I would say strength training is more effective if your goals are increasing lean muscle mass, all right, in keeping or increasing your bone density mass. Okay, so lean muscle mass and then BDM, bone density mass. Because as we age, both of those things start to reduce if we do not keep it up or implement strength training if we aren't already, okay? The other side of that answer or statement, I said there were 2 answers, 2 statements, is that it's not necessarily that walking, that strength training is better. Walking has absolute benefits as well for women over 40. And so here I go with a little bit more information on that. So take a deep dive. So starting first with walking. So leisurely walking for your mind-body benefits, stress relief, relaxation, and fresh air has a huge place in a perimenopausal woman's wellness regimen, okay? In anyone's regimen. Walking, number 1, is pretty neutral as long as we're keeping it leisurely, casual, nice, walking for its mind, body, and just kind of basic benefits is very neutral on our cortisol levels. So we can do it any time of day, all right? Walking helps to release some feel-good hormones, particularly the further you get away from highways, busy streets, exhaust, other cars. The further you get away from the concrete jungle, the more benefits walking has. All right. So walking deeper into forests, getting away from the hustle and bustle, and really surrounding yourself with a lot more nature. Okay. And of course, walking does not require any plan or any equipment. All you need is your body and a place to walk. You can walk on the grass. Okay. Whatever it is. So walking works for a number of reasons. It's not that strength training is necessarily better. It's better if, okay? Those are your goals that I mentioned in the beginning. So walking will not create the stimulus, okay, or the stimulation that your body needs to grow or build more lean muscle or more dense, heavy duty bones, okay? Walking will not do that. Walking has other great properties of things that it does do. If we want the benefits of creating more lean muscle mass, of holding on to our lean muscle, of holding on to our bone density mass, this is when we absolutely should be, all women should be incorporating strength training, okay? Especially in midlife. It's never too late in midlife. So that is really, really, really important to mention. So we're going to talk about that then in the context of strength training is more beneficial than walking because of its huge benefits. Okay, so again, maintaining build lean muscle mass, helping prevent the loss, which can happen very quickly and rapidly in midlife, especially as we get older, of bone density. Okay, it can also help to prevent falls and injuries by helping make our bones and joints stronger, improving balance, improving coordination, improving endurance, all those things, okay, not to mention strength. So some big wins for choosing strength training over walking. So if I had to choose, if I am in midlife, if I had to be presented with that hard choice, of choosing between strength training and walking, personally, I would choose the strength training. 7, any day of the week. Now, the benefits of strength training session over going for a walk are many. I'm going to talk about 5 biggies right here. So I'm going to make my screen a little bigger so that you can see all this, okay? Now, the first reason is, of course, no other exercise will improve the way you age like strength training. So I'll say that again. No other type of exercise will improve the way you age like strength training. Countless studies, okay, point to strength training's power to reverse the aging effects of genes, to reverse mitochondria damage, which is, of course, the powerhouse of our cell, to prevent Alzheimer's, to enhance muscle health, to enhance bone health, and to enhance brain health, and so much more. The second reason that strength training is superior to walking is that muscle loss accelerates during late stage perimenopause and early postmenopause. Okay, so when you're actually in menopause, even more important here because muscle loss is accelerating at a much more rapid pace, year by year, decade by decade. The sharp decline as well in estrogen as we hit late stage perimenopause and early postmenopause years is that the decline in estrogen at this time removes the stimulus from estrogen for muscle. The stimulus has to come from a new and more significant stimulus. Okay, so strength training. And number 3, bone loss is inevitable without it. So if you choose to not start resistance training or strength training, you choose to continue only with the walking or only with the running or only with the cardio, bone loss is inevitable. Okay, so that bears repeating 3 times. Bone loss is inevitable, meaning you cannot escape it without strength training. You can't outrun, out Zumba, or out yoga bone density losses. It requires a minimum effective stress of continued overload. And how do you get that overload? By putting your body against load, which is weight, whether it's your own body to begin with, and then weights or bands or inclines or whatever it might be, or gravity as you get stronger, okay? Yoga might get you from 0 to 10 if you've come from the couch, but it won't get you from 11 to 100, okay? Reason number 4, benefits of strength training, is frailty, falls, and fractures, the older we get, lead to mortality, all right? And now this is one, lots of research, and some of the research is scary, and I don't mean to scare you, but if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. But the scary stats are that without resistance training, without strength training, without doing something to prevent that bone loss inevitability, because it doesn't have to be inevitable if you strength train. Without all that, those falls, which in our 20s and 30s might be nothing, could definitely be something in our 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Okay, so your weight doesn't matter whether it's a low weight or a high weight or an average weight as you get older, does not exclude you from being frail due to what is called sarcopenia. Okay, so sarcopenia is that rapid loss of muscle tone. All right, and with it, that ever increasing decline of bone density mass as we age, unless we strength train, meaning, and it can lead to mortality because that wrist that you break in your 70s, if you are already frail and have advanced levels of sarcopenia, can lead to a host of complications, not simply the broken bone, but other complications that can in fact have serious and severe outcomes due to age. Okay, so being frail, falling, those fractures, severe outcomes, even death as we get older. And then the fifth one, muscle strength is much more within your control than fat loss, and they work together. So back to the screen here. Muscle strength is something that you can monitor, you can manipulate it, you can control it. Fat loss, on the other hand, is many variables, a chief one being stress. Okay. Then, of course, you add on to that layer inflammation. Your body won't potentially shed fat when you are existing under a high stress lifestyle, okay, or under an inflamed body internally. Myths about strength training negate this big piece of information. Okay, so, like the myth that, oh, you're going to get big and bulky. That, for example, is not true, ladies. That's a topic for another day. But when we're looking at muscle strength, it's so much more within your control than fat loss. So by increasing that load on the bone, the load on the joints, the load on the muscle, essentially resistance training, you are setting yourself up for more lean muscle mass, for increased metabolic burning, even at rest, for more bone density, okay, keeping your bone density, helping to reduce stress, okay, all these things. Whereas simply wanting weight loss alone is not going to get you the benefit of the strength training and all those wonderful things, okay? So I hope that makes sense. Those are just 5 reasons why your strength training session is far more superior than going for that walk. Now, if you're strength training 2 to 3 days a week regularly and going for walks, win-win. This is great. But walking alone is far less beneficial for you than increasing that strength training. Okay, so let's move on here. And I hope that's helpful. If you have questions on that, by all means, drop them in the comment or let me know. And I just wanted to speaking of dropping, some science. Okay, so when it comes to strength training, the maximal load is most relevant for bone mass density changes, not the load frequency. So let's, for example, going walking 7 days a week. Yeah, great. That's fine. But that is not relevant to bone mass density. What is getting some maximal loads. Okay. That is how you can powerfully affect and benefit your bone mass density. Okay. The intensity with which the exercise is performed bears a direct correlation to the increase in your bone mass density. And I'm quoting here some studies. There's a National Institute for Health, one of the studies that I'm quoting from here. Now, keep in mind, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, if you want overnight success, you get overnight results, which don't last, just like fat loss, okay? If you have a lot of weight to lose for health issues, you're looking at 6 months to a year or more, depending on how much weight you have to lose. The same for bone density increases and lean muscle increases. It can take 4 to 6 months or more for bone to remodel under the best of conditions, meaning regular strength training with enough maximal load to affect that bone mass density change, okay? And the measurable effects of exercise may only be apparent years later. So stay with it, okay? It can take months for you to see those changes. The changes will happen. Your job is to stay consistent. Do it. Get under load, even if that's just your own body weight for the first 4, 5, 6 months. And then as you go, remember, from 0 to 10 and then 11 to 100, you want to add more of the load, add the resistance bands, add more complex exercises, add dumbbells, kettlebells, whatever it is. Okay. Now, on the other hand, Bone mass density increases have also been reported using just 5 resistance exercises. Okay, so you're looking for 5 types of movements here, ladies. Hip extension, that's like a squat. Knee extension, also included in a squat. Lateral pull downs, okay, where we're pulling down force and weight. Back extension movements and abdominal flexion, okay? So you want, 3 rounds of about 8 reps. And this is your build up to goal, okay? So I'm just going to backtrack here and say, when it comes to strength training, you don't go right into this from zero, okay? If right now your fitness involves relaxing with a cup of tea on the couch and going for the occasional walk, or maybe the occasional jog on your treadmill, you don't just go into 3 sets of 8 reps at 80% of your max load. You go slowly. You start with your body weight. You earn the right to go heavier by building that muscle tone, muscle strength, building the strength first, and then progressing. The end goal would be something like these 3 rounds, 8 reps, where each rep you are pulling, pushing, or pressing about 80% of your 1 rep max. Okay? That's what that means. So here are some great movements to include in your strength training. Okay? If nothing else, include a squat, include a shoulder press, 1 arm at a time, so that you can equalize the amount of effort each side of your body is doing. One-sided work, always make sure you're including one-sided work into your strength training, not always 2 sides at once. So you got a squat, a shoulder press, leg press, okay? Leg presses can even be lunges. You're lunging and then you're pressing 1 leg at a time off the ground. You can do leg presses with resistance bands laying on your back and straightening 1 leg against that band. That is also a leg press, okay? Now, another exercise of the 5 is a lat pull down, okay? The next, I mentioned that one earlier, is a seated row, okay? Oops, I'm just going to change that again. Oh, my apologies, ladies. Change that view. And then a laying extension, okay? So you're laying on your tummy in a prone position and extending your whole body off the floor to work your posterior chain. So you've got a squat, shoulder press, leg press, lat pull down, seated row, and laying extensions is your bonus. That's actually 6 exercises, not 5, but these are some great things you can start to incorporate right now, even from nothing, okay? And of course, you're not going to get that 80% of your 1 RM, which is what 1 RM stands for, of 1 rep max. You're going to start probably with higher levels of repetition, less rounds, maybe 1 round of doing 12, 14, maybe 20 reps. That's it. On to the next. As you get stronger, you're adding load, you're adding more challenge, you're adding weight, dropping the number of reps, adding a couple more rounds to get that towards muscle fatigue, which I've spoken about so much in length in the past. So there you go. There's some science, there's some ideas, and there is why your strength training is more preferable in perimenopause and menopause to simply walking. Okay, combine walking with strength training for the win. Now, collagen. I believe it was Crystal that asked this. Do you recommend a liquid collagen supplement for nail hair health? If so, is there a higher quality product or ingredient one should look for? Of course, none of the answers are going to be simple in terms of 1-sentence answers. First of all, I will say, if you need it, you don't need to supplement with everything for everything, okay? If you're getting a very, very balanced, nutritionally healthy diet filled with fibrous vegetables and lean proteins and nuts and seeds and your healthy dietary fats and plentiful fruits and vegetables, you may not need to supplement at all. For example, protein powder. There's no absolute need to supplement with protein powder unless you are not getting your necessary levels of protein through the day, in which case you may want to. And with collagen being basically a type of protein in the body, you may or may not need to supplement with this, but let's say that you do. So here's kind of a little primer on everything you need to know about your collagen, okay? So there are 2 different kinds. You can get collagen powders or liquid collagen, okay? And I'm just going to read some stuff here from National Institutes of Health as well. So because this also starts to decline as we age, okay? And so the effective amounts of functional collagen peptides is around 2.5 to 15 grams daily, okay? Just kind of as a benchmark. But let's move into something I want to talk about this. So women especially, again, things start to decline with age, all right? Things start to change. So a key protein in the body, collagen, found primarily in skin, bones, cartilage, tendons, and teeth, okay? Collagen, of course, plays a critical role in the structure and the function of our body cells and tissues, blood vessels, the cornea, gums, and scalp. It also helps promote wound healing and bone repair. Now, with age, our own collagen production declines. This is why so many women start to race to collagen supplementation, okay? There are different types, but I'm going to recommend as this answer, hydrolyzed collagen supplements in an effort to help restore collagen that has been depleted, okay? Collagen loss starts between the ages of 18 and 29, so earlier than perimenopause for most women. But after the age of 40, the body can lose around 1% of collagen stores each year. Okay, at around 80, collagen production can decrease by 75% overall in comparison to that of younger adults. So that's huge. That change from 1% a year after 40 to 75% overall after the age of 80. Okay. Now, collagen found in supplements can be extracted from many different sources. You've got animal sources, including cows and pigs. Okay, you've also got hydrolyzed collagen, which can be found in skin, scales, and bones of marine sources, such as fish and invertebrates, like shellfish, jellyfish, or sponges. Okay, some manufacturers also are extracting collagen from algae, but alternative sources of hydrolyzed collagen, the one I would recommend, that have shown really great functionality include chicken legs and feet and a frog species, believe it or not. Now let's talk about the health benefits. So hydrolyzed collagen, all right, and this is the kind that I'm going to recommend is a hydrolyzed collagen, and we'll talk about what that means in a second here. They're really great. They're more rapidly absorbed, more readily absorbed by the body. And collagen research traditionally is focused on skin, okay, anti-aging of skin, bones and joint health, wound healing, and body composition. There's less research on the effect of collagen for weight loss, nail growth, and heart health. And I'll just go back to that question. Let's just go back here, which was, give me one moment. Do I recommend a liquid collagen for nail hair or health? And I'm getting to whether it's liquid or not. So let's go back. Okay. So in terms of nail health, there's not as much research on that yet, but definitely for skin, bone, and joint health, wound healing, and body composition, there is. Now, collagen makes up around 70 to 75% of our skin. And the skin, of course, is the largest organ in our body. If you're watching this live or on the replay, did anyone know that? Raise your hand and say, yes, I knew that. Okay. Collagen makes up 70 to 75% of our skin. The largest organ in our body, protects us from external damage, helps regulate temperature, lots of other things. Now, as we age, as many of us women know, collagen in the skin's inner layer can become depleted, leading to dryness, loss of elasticity, lines, wrinkles. Okay. Now, recent studies have shown that by taking oral hydrolyzed collagen peptide supplements, it can be effective in slowing down the signs of skin aging. Okay. In fact, in 2017, there was a study by Genovese et al., which determined out of 120 healthy subjects who ingested a Nutra cosmetic formulation containing 50 milliliters of either hydrolyzed collagen or a placebo, the analysis revealed that the Nutra cosmetic formulation produced an improvement in the structure of the epidermis of the skin. Okay. So that's pretty positive. 95% of the subjects taking the hydrolyzed collagen agreed that their skin was more hydrated, more elastic, and stronger, not to mention thicker. Okay. There were other studies as well, but some really positive studies have been done that are showing this. Okay. Also to date, that was skin. Also to date, there have been more than 60 studies about hydrolyzed collagen and its effectiveness in reducing collagen damage for joint and bone health, okay? Along with osteoarthritis and osteoporosis, which is the bone density loss, okay? So these results, as well as a high level of tolerance for safety, can make Hydrolyzed collagen really appealing for long-term use in bone and joint degenerative diseases. So if you have osteoporosis or osteoarthritis, you might already be taking hydrolyzed collagen as a supplement. Okay, and there are different kinds. But recent findings, including a study of 51 women, postmenopausal, I should say, women with osteopenia, which is bone loss, found that the addition of hydrolyzed collagen to calcium and vitamin D supplements as well may enhance bone metabolism. So this is good. In another study, 250 subjects with osteoarthritis of the knee, those participants were given 10 grams of hydrolyzed collagen daily for 6 months. Now, at the end of that 6-month study, there was a significant improvement in knee joint comfort, both on visual analog and pain scale assessments, which is great. Okay, so a lot of really good studies on treating wounds and more. Studies as well on the effects of collagen peptides on body fat reduction. Some early results are also showing real good promise on that. Okay, so again, I always recommend talk with your naturopath, talk with your primary physician, talk about whether you would benefit from taking a good hydrolyzed collagen source. And I'm going to say hydrolyzed collagen because it is the most common, the most readily absorbed type that we are probably going to have the best results with. Okay, so while there are 28 types of collagen, the most common types used in supplements are type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4, and type 5. Okay, they come in 3 different forms that are useful to the body. There is hydrolyzed collagen, which I've been talking about. And that, of course, can come in the form of collagen peptides, collagen powder, collagen hydrolysate, and hydrolyzed gelatin. But in addition to hydrolyzed collagen, there's also gelatin and undenatured type 2 collagen. So those are the 3 different forms: hydrolyzed collagen, gelatin, and undenatured type 2 collagen. All right. Hydrolyzed collagen, as I stated, is believed to be the easiest for the body to utilize. It's the most broken down form of the protein. Gelatin collagen is made by boiling collagen and is the most basic form of collagen. Undenatured type 2 is the least broken down form of collagen and is more difficult for our bodies to break down. So usually the winner, the award goes to hydrolyzed collagen. Okay, so to the answer of that question, do I recommend a liquid collagen supplement for nail, hair, and health? It depends if you need it. Does it matter if it's liquid or powder? Not so much. You want to be looking for a couple of factors would go into that decision, which I'll talk about, but you're wanting to look for a high quality hydrolyzed collagen peptide supplement. Okay. And so if there's one ingredient you should look for, make sure that it is a hydrolyzed collagen peptide supplement. All right. And then to take into account things like food sensitivities and allergies, right? Are you going to choose one that is sourced from fish and shellfish if you have an allergy? No, you may want to choose a bovine versus marine-based, okay? Look for pure supplements that avoid a lot of fillers. Fillers are usually a cheap way of adding mass or filling up the container. You don't want all the extras. You want to make sure that you're getting what it is what it is. Make sure you're getting the highest level of hydrolyzed collagen peptides in that product as you can. Now, liquid versus powder is mainly convenience. Personally, I find liquid better. It's easier to stir, but the good thing about hydrolyzed collagen is it should be very easily to dissolve in the liquid that you mix it in with, hence in your body as well. Okay, so it's kind of a convenience thing. And then you want to look for the different types or the combinations, right? Like I mentioned, with hydrolyzed collagen, there's type 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 are the most common. You can get like collagen that has types 1 and 3 are very common, or 2 and 3 are very common, okay? And then what is your goal? So ask yourself, why do you need it? Okay. Are you getting enough from food? If not, what's your goal of using it? Ask yourself those questions before just getting it for the sake of thinking you need it, if that makes sense, okay? I wanted to talk a little bit more about that before I move on. So here we go. Some more information here. So quickly. Now, in terms of hydrolyzed collagen peptides, there are those 5 major ones I talked about: type 1, type 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Now, here is where you want to do a little research on what supplement are you looking at. Type 1 collagen. This is the most common type of collagen that's found naturally in the body. It accounts for about 90% of the body's collagen stores and is found just below the skin of the dermis. So type 1 collagen can be found in most of those hydrolyzed collagen peptide supplements because it's wide range of potential benefits. Okay, so type 1, is going to be the most common. So read the labels, read the descriptor of the manufacturer who is providing the supplement to find out what type it is. Type 1 collagen can be found in marine, in bovine, and in eggshell membranes. Okay. It's also great for those seeking to support healthy hair, nails, and skin. All right. Now, type 2 collagen. So think type 1, hair, nail, skin. Type 2 collagen. This is found in both marine and chicken products. Current research on the effects of type 2 collagen is limited, but many of those early studies and preliminary studies conducted on people with knee osteoarthritis found promising levels of pain reduction with the use of type 2 collagen. And this is in correlation with knee osteoarthritis, of course. Okay, I want to make that caveat, along with acetaminophen. So type 2 collagen in conjunction with acetaminophen, finding good results with people who have knee osteoarthritis. While type 2 collagen may support pain reduction from common joint problems, there is still more research needed regarding benefits like healthy joint inflammation response. Okay. And of course, people with allergies to fish or chicken should consult their doctor before taking supplements containing that type 2 collagen. Now, type 3 collagen is the second most common type. The first is type 1. The second is type 3. And it's found naturally in the body. This type of collagen is different from the others because of its singular alpha chain. The other types of collagen have multiple alpha chains. In conjunction with type 1, type 3 collagen is thought to support gut, muscles, blood vessels of the uterus. Bovine products are the most common source of type 3. Okay, so types 1 and 3 give you a good source from bovine. Type 3 itself is so helpful, all right, because of how it can help fight inflammatory diseases. Some studies show the body may utilize type 3 collagen to help fight inflammatory diseases. The body will use amino acids, of course, in whatever way it needs. But again, if you're looking at what kind to use, if you're on Amazon and you're like, oh, this has type 1, or this just has type 2, or this has type 1 and 3, you may want to go with the one that has type 1 and 3 because it gives you the nail, hair, and skin along with the muscle and joint benefits. Okay. Now, type 4 collagen, this is found naturally in the cornea, in the eye, where it helps control collagen fibril sizes in order to maximize the transmission of light. So type 4 collagen works naturally in conjunction with types 1 and 3 and is responsible for optimal fibrillary formation and tissue quality in the human body. Type 4 is also known to support bone matrix, corneal stroma, and interstitial matrix of muscles, liver, lungs, and placenta. Again, remembering that collagen is a connective tissue support, okay? So promising results on the research with type 4 collagen supplements on its potential benefits to eye health, cell membranes, and tissue found in the placenta. All right. And then finally, type 5, it's responsible for bone formation and can be found in joint cartilage. Type 5 collagen is a network-forming collagen and may present an opportunity to identify serious conditions. Specifically, people with an elevated amount of type 5 collagen have a higher propensity for rheumatological disorders affecting bone and cartilage. Okay. Claims from collagen supplement companies, now I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong, suggest that type 5 collagen can be used during recovery from limb damage and broken bones. This is not fully backed by current studies, which are only able to prove that type 5 collagen naturally found in the body is responsible, not supplementary type 5 collagen. Okay, so there's a big distinction there. So looking for those different types, maybe types 1 and 3 is the way you want to go, depending on what your needs are. Most people's needs are pretty basic. They want to firm up skin, fight age-related damage, and boost bone health. You might be fine with a type 1 and type 3 collagen, hydrolyzed collagen peptide source. And so, for example, there's one on Amazon called Codage. It's a multi-collagen protein powder. It's hydrolyzed, okay? It gives you types 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's grass-fed. It considers itself an all-in-one super source. It includes bone broth in there as well, okay? Because bone broth can be a great source of collagen as well. So I hope that helps to answer that question. Okay, so just FYI, in case you're interested in knowing how the body makes new collagen, well, our body makes collagen proteins from the amino acids proline, glycine, and hydroxyproline. All of these amino acids come from food, but some are harder to come by than others. Hydroxyproline, for instance, is found almost exclusively in collagen from animal sources. So if you are a vegetarian or a vegan, you may not be getting that source, okay? So if you want to make new collagen, make sure you're getting those specific amino acids either from food or from supplements, okay? Proline, glycine, and hydroxyproline. All right. So type 1 collagen benefits and where to find it. I just talked about that. You'll find type 1 collagen in your eyes, skin, bones, tendons, teeth. All right. Type 1 and 3 are great for healing the gut. Type 1 collagen from marine sources is especially good for this. Okay. So let's say, for example, there are good supplements out there for marine collagen sources where you're going to get lots of high concentrations of type 1 collagen. There are going to be some organic bone broth protein powders or liquid bone broth collagens that are going to be rich in types 1, 2, and 3. And then there's going to be bovine collagens that are going to be rich in types 1 and 3. Okay, so lots of different types. So let's move on and I'll answer the last question, which was the end of day bloating. Okay, now this one I don't know. I believe it was Hillary that asked this question. There are a lot of different answers. Suggestions on how to reduce end of day bloating feeling. Well, I'm always going to throw your answer into a question. First, we have to get to the root cause. What are you eating and drinking through the day? How are you feeling after eating certain foods, drinking certain things? Are you getting enough sodium in your diet? How much water are you or are you not drinking in a day? How much sugar and or processed foods are you eating in a day? Are you getting a lot of fiber in your diet or do you need more fiber? Is fiber virtually non-existent? Okay, all of these answers are going to give you a better picture for what could be causing the bloating. Generally, though not always, bloating is going to stem from a couple root causes and often gut health. Poor gut health, not having enough of the good bugs in your gut is going to give you bloating and digestive issues, okay? So you can consider an elimination plan to find out first if there's something that you're eating that is causing the bloating, okay? And then from there, you can start to build back things into your diet one at a time to see how it either helps or eliminates, okay, those digestive issues later in the day. You might consider going on a gut health nutrition program, okay, a specific gut health plan. You may want to increase your exposure to the outdoor microbiome, all right? Get your feet dirty. Start playing in mud. Start playing in Mother Nature's microbiome to expose yourself to those good germs more. If you're not, okay, if you're spending a lot of time indoors, near cars, exhaust, you haven't been in the forest in weeks, you may want to go there, okay? Incorporate more fermented foods in your diet. Maybe cut out or eliminate all sugar for a period of 30 days and then reassess to see, has it improved your gut health? How is your bloating? Take a good pre-probiotic in your diet. Again, get more fiber in your diet if that is lacking. Fiber and protein are a win-win, almost magical solutions paired with sleep for helping to heal the gut and improving your overall gut health and moving more, okay? So again, a hard question to answer without knowing what it is you are or are not eating, what it is you are or are not drinking, and knowing what does your daily diet look like. How much processed foods are you eating? How much natural foods are you eating? So if you want to get a really good kind of bird's eye look, start to keep a food and a drink journal. Write down every single thing you eat and drink, and start to tune into how does your body feel? How is your bloat right after or a few hours after eating it? And you might begin to find a pattern, okay? You might want to start making sure that you're eating 3 meals a day and letting your stomach empty out essentially, rather than snacking all the way throughout the day. Let your body, your tummy empty out. Let hunger be the cue before your next meal and see how that affects your bloating. Okay. Always seek the advice of a medical professional before making medical healthcare decisions, such as what to eat and what not to eat, or choosing any supplements. Okay. But sometimes just making sure you're eating more fiber, drinking more filtered clean water, getting enough sleep, and eating more fermented foods can increase those good gut bugs, essentially, and help to reduce the bloating. Gut issues, gut disorders, and poor gut health is usually the number one cause of bloating. The number one cause of gut issues is you need to increase the number of good gut bugs and reduce the number of bad for you gut bugs. Okay. Because gut issues can lead to things like IBS, Crohn's, leaky gut. All of these things can be SIBO, all symptoms of gut dysfunction. All right. So hopefully that helps. Keep the journal. Start to really take a close look at what you are or are not eating and what causes those symptoms on days more than others. Okay. So I just wanted to shout this out here. For the summertime, for the months of June, July, and August, I am offering my custom online fitness program for $175 a month, which gives you 100% access 24/7 to my online app. You get workouts that are done for you. I professionally design, deliver those programs for you inside my app. They can be monitored two-way. They have video support. It tells you what to do, when, and how many reps, everything. There's a sale on $175 a month instead of its normal $200 a month price tag. Okay. Also, if you want to get started on a healthy eating plan, you can now access my customized automated meal plan program for $34 a month. It automatically renews every month. You can customize, pick and choose your meals, choose from 3 or 5 day plans, choose from inflammation plans, flex plans, general good health plans. All right. Those are now available as well. And anytime you want more one-on-one coaching to take a look at your specific situation, because there's not one size fits all. I cannot tell you what is going to work based on these questions because I don't know your health history. I don't know what you're currently doing. I don't know how you're eating, how you're moving. Therefore, the answer is going to depend on all of those different factors. Okay. All I know is there is no overnight answer. Sometimes it takes throwing spaghetti at a wall over the course of a few weeks or months to see what works for you. And you have to stick with something long enough to see if it'll take hold. So if you have any questions on any of that, let me know. I hope that was a lot of really great info. I didn't mean to go that long today, but I figure more info is better than not enough. So I hope that answered your questions, ladies, and took you on a deeper dive into things like collagen, strength training, and gut health. Have a wonderful day. It's been my pleasure talking. I hope this shows up on the streams. Have a really great Wednesday, and I will be back live next Wednesday with another great women's wellness topic. Thanks for listening. And don't forget, let me know if you're watching this on the